Alright, here's our video on dividing rational numbers. So remember the rules, the same with multiplication. If they're like signs, the answer will always be positive, and unlike signs, always negative. Let's make that negative better. Okay, so let's look at an example. Okay, so 3.05 divided by negative 2.6. So you know the first number is always in the box, just remember that. So if we did this, it'll be 3.05 in the box, and negative 2.6 outside the box. Or we can make it a fraction. So 3 and 5/100ths, that's what that is, and negative 2 and 6/10ths. And I can reduce that. It could be negative 2 and 3/5. I can reduce that. And this could be 3 and 1/20th. You can reduce that. And you get that. And then, same with multiplication, I'll turn them into improper fractions. So 20 times 3 is 60 plus 1, so that's 61 over 20. 5 times 2 is 10, and we know it's going to be a negative. Plus 3 is 13, so that's 13/5. So it would look something like this. And we know with division, we're going to flip the fraction, the reciprocal. We're going to flip the last one. So this will be 61 over 20 times negative 5/13. And you can do it this way, or you can just simply do it the old-fashioned way with the box. Your choice. Sometimes on the quiz I might say make this a fraction. So what do we do from here? Now it's just multiplication. So let's write it over. So if I had 61 over 20 times, now remember it turns into multiplication, we flip the last fraction, and we can reduce right away. 5 goes into 20 4 times, 5 goes into 5 once. So we're left with 61, and 4 times 13 is 52. 61 over 52, and that's an improper fraction, so we can continue. We can say, well, that equals, and remember it's a negative. It's very important because this was unlike sign, so it's negative. So this will be negative 1 because 52 goes into 61 once, and there's 9 left over. That'll be our answer. Okay, let's try this one. Try that by yourselves. First thing you want to do, turn it into multiplication and flip it. Flip the last fraction. There we go. And now it's just multiplication, so you can just multiply across. And remember, unlike signs, so the answer will be negative. So this is improper. We can continue. Sometimes I can say, well, you can keep it that way, or if I say continue, so 8 goes into 15 once, remember that negative, and 7/8. There's our answer, 1 and 7/8. So it's very important in division that you flip the last fraction, not the first fraction. Other things to keep in mind is, if you see a word problem, let's say you saw, how many 2.5 ounce servings are in 22 1/4 ounce? That's ounce, not Oz, not the Wizard of Oz. So, when you see something this, they're saying, how many of these are in that? So that's division. It's a key word, in. And since we're trying to put this into that, that is in the box. So in a fraction, the first number is always in the box. Keep that in mind. So we have something like this. We can also make it a decimal if we want, 22.25 divided by 2.5. So again, with these you want to make them improper fractions, not mixed numbers. So what do you do next? So 4 times 22 is 88 plus 1, so that's 89 over 4, divided by 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 over 2. What do we do with division? We flip the fraction. So this will be 89 over 4 times 2/5. Now you can see we can reduce here. 2 goes into 4 twice, and 2 goes into 2 once. So that gives us 89/10. Wait, what's this? So 89/10. And we can reduce that. 10 goes into 89 8 times and 9/10. So the question was, how many 2.5 ounce servings are in 22 1/4 ounce? Well, there's 8 and 9/10 servings. If you wanted to make full servings, you would say, well, there's 8 and there's almost 9 if you wanted to use whole numbers. Okay, let's do one more. See if you can do that one. Remember, we should make that parentheses in there just because it looks better. So here we have a regular fraction, and then we have a mixed number. So we have 3/5 divided by, don't forget it's going to be negative. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7, so it's 7/3. Don't cancel here because you have to flip first. Remember, you flipped the last fraction. 3/5 times negative 3/7. Now just multiply across. The answer is going to be negative 9/35. Okay, so that's multiplying and dividing. Actually, we were dividing because the multiplication becomes division, and we were dividing rational numbers. Great job.